What's up guys, it's Elizabeth aka Lizzie and welcome back to another video. Today guys, I am going to be doing a story time for you guys of how I found out I had lupus. I haven't done a story time on my channel because I don't really have story times to tell, but today I decided to make this video for you guys so you guys can get to know me personally a little bit more. Before you leave this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications bell so you can see every time that I post another video. Let's get into it. Okay, so this video, this story time has a few parts because it begins before it starts. I know that doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna quickly explain what I mean. So before I found out I had lupus, I had gotten a surgery on my right ankle because I had what was called a torso coalition, which is basically when your bones are supposed to be like this and they're like this, rubbing against each other. So they added cartilage to the middle of my bones so that they wouldn't rub on each other, because that would the rubbing would cause like long-term effects. Like I could have been shorter on one side of my body than the other. So that's what I mean by it starts before it begins, because when I got the surgery, you know, I was getting like ankle pains and stuff, so that's what I mean. But after the surgery, I kept on having ankle pains strongly, but it wasn't only my ankle. I mean like my wrist, my back, my neck, my knees, and my ankles, and the pain was very sharp, but it was never like consistent. The pain would come and go, and it was coming and going for like 3 months, I'd say, before we took like action, because we didn't know what it was. So we went to my primary doctor and she didn't really think that it was anything big either, so she was just like, oh, okay, I think I'm gonna send you to do a couple of labs and then we'll see what the labs say. So my mom thought it had something to do with my bones because, you know, I had just gotten surgery from my bones, so she was like, oh, maybe it's that, you know, because where it was hurting, like, you have bones there. So it turns out that the test came back and my primary doctor sent me to a rheumatologist. And at that point I was like, wait a minute, so it has to be something serious if she's sending me to another doctor, because the test came back iffy. So we went to a rheumatologist, and when we got there, you know, he was like in a rush, like he was like rushing us, he was rushing us talking and whatever. So he told us that three tests, I think it's 3 or is it 4? Me and my mom are always like, my mom is always like, no, it's 4, and I'm always like, no, it's 3. It was either 4 or 3 tests that sorry, there's either 3 or 4 tests that came back weird. So he went over the test with us and he was just basically like, okay, look, you have lupus. And I was like, what? Like, whoa, what is this lupus? Like, what is going on? So he was like, you took 3 or 4 tests, and okay, I'm gonna say 3 because I'm pretty sure it's 3, so I'm gonna say 3 tests I took. 2 came back positive, 1 came back negative. What does that mean? That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, what does that mean? So lupus is a disease where basically your body is fighting against you. Your immune system is basically fighting against you. You see how your immune system, when you get sick, it fights that bacteria. It fights, like if you have the flu, it fights the flu and you get better with, you know, medicine and stuff. So in my case, basically my body is just like fighting against me instead of fighting to help me get better, you know what I mean? So if I do have a cold or a flu, it usually lasts longer than a regular person would, just because, you know, my body is not helping me to get better. In other words, that's the basics of it. So that is what lupus is. There's no cure for lupus, and there's no test that you can take that's gonna tell you that you either have it or you don't. So how do they know if you have it or not? Well, you get 3 tests, and out of those 3 tests is gonna tell you if you have the traits of lupus, or if it's like, if you have the symptoms. If you have a lot of the symptoms of lupus, then and you take the test and the test come out positive, then you do have lupus. So in my case, my symptoms were, at the time when I went to the rheumatologist, I had joint pains, and I was very, very fatigued. Like, I would wake up in the morning tired, come home from school tired. So those were my symptoms at the time. But the symptoms of lupus are joint pains, you get fatigue, tightness in your chest, you get a butterfly rash, which is like, I'm praying, up to today I have not gotten a butterfly rash, and I'm praying that I don't, because it's really bad. So basically it's just like a rash right here on your face, and it's like a lot. It's very, very red. Your face gets like swollen. It's terrible. I'm hoping that I never have to go through that. But back to the story. So he told me that I had lupus, and he rushed it. He didn't really explain to me what lupus was, and in my head when he told me that, I was just very confused. And I can tell that my mom, who was sitting right next to me, was very like sick, scared, and like afraid to really, you know, tell me what it was or tell me the dangers of it, because of course that's something very scary. So my mom was like, no, you can't just tell her that she has lupus. Like, let's do these tests over again. Let's see, maybe she was just having a bad day, you know, maybe the test just came out bad that day. Let's just redo the test. So we ended up redoing the test, and the test came back the same. 2 of them came back positive, 1 of them came back negative. So at the time, he didn't like tell me that it was 100% sure that I had lupus, because 1 of the tests came back negative, and also because my symptoms at the time weren't really that big. Like, I only had 2 symptoms. It could have been something else, you know. In my head, honestly, I was like, oh, maybe I have arthritis, because usually when you have arthritis, like, your joints start hurting. But yeah, he didn't really want to tell me like, oh, you have it 100%, because my symptoms were so low. So when we were at this rheumatologist, I was moving to New York, which is where I live now. So basically he just he gave me all my paperwork, and then so I can bring it and see a rheumatologist here and see what he says. So we moved to New York, and I had an incident. When I started school, I had a really bad chest pain, like really, really bad, and my chest was really tight and I could not breathe. So they had to take me to the emergency room, where I had to stay overnight. But because I had just moved here, I didn't have an insurance, and I needed to go, so I was in the hospital, so we were gonna have to pay for that. But however, the hospital contacted a rheumatologist that I can go see, and also they helped us make the process of getting the insurance quicker. So I did see a new rheumatologist after that incident, and my rheumatologist that I see now, he sent me to redo the test, because, you know, he wanted to make sure that they were 100% accurate, because, you know, the time that went by when I was in Florida to when I moved here. So after I did the test came back the same. 3 of them, 2 came back positive, 1 came back negative. And, you know, I was really, at that time, I was really upset, and I was very nervous at the same time, because it's like they're telling me that I might have this possible disease, that it's gonna last forever, like I'm gonna be with that forever. And it's really like, okay, do I have it or do I not? Like, it's just very confusing. They also had me taking, at the time, 3 medications, and I hate drinking pills. I hate it with a passion. Like, I do not like pills. I do not like drinking pills. And they had me taking 3 at the time. So I was just like, is it really worth it? Like, do I really have to take these pills if it's not even 100% sure that I do have this lupus thing? So he was just like, okay, look, your symptoms are really low, your tests come back the same, so we're just gonna keep you on this treatment, the pills, and we'll just see. Like, I'm gonna see you every 6 months, and then we'll be doing the tests over and over just to see how they come out. So I do see my rheumatologist now every 3 months, just because one of the tests, which is the one that came back negative, is gradually increasing a lot. It's increasing a lot. When I first saw my rheumatologist in 2017, the test was at 15%. Today, I did not say him today, but I'm saying today, like up to today, they're so loud. Up to today, the test is now at 81%, which means that it has increased a lot. in order for that test to be positive, I have to be at a 99%, which means that I'm really close. I'm at 81 and I have to be at 99 for the test to be positive. So it went from 15 to 81 in a matter of a year. That's a lot. So the doctor said that he wanted to see me every 3 months because he wanted to, like, you know, keep an eye on me, make sure that I'm okay. So yes, that happened. Also, my symptoms have increased from how they were when I first saw them. The joint pains are way more consistent now. The fatigueness is way more consistent now. I started getting rashes on my body as well. I forgot to mention, I had a couple rashes on, like, my arm, my leg, and like on my face. I had it was not a butterfly rash, but I did have a rash on my face, so that's another symptom. The tightness in my chest is another symptom. And also, I did develop anxiety throughout the lupus situation. I got a lot of anxiety. I feel like I'm better with anxiety now because I don't really feel overwhelmed, and I don't feel like sad or nothing like that. Like, I feel really, really good, and I'm really happy because, you know, at the beginning it was really hard for me. I'm not even gonna lie, it was really hard for me when I first, and I tried not to show it, but I know everybody saw it. I tried not to show it because, you know, I was just like, I don't want them to feel pity or whatever. Also, this lupus thing is something that I never really spoke about, like, to people. Like, my family obviously knows, but I never really spoke about it to, like, my friends at school or, like, anybody that I know that's not a part of my family and already knows, because I feel like I was afraid to say it just because I didn't want people to be like, oh, look, she's the girl with my camera got overheated, so it turned off. But like I was saying, I never really spoke about it to anybody because, you know, I was just like afraid. But now I decided to make this video because I know that there's a lot of people out there who not necessarily have lupus, but might have other things, and are just like afraid to share it or whatever. But I feel like it's normal at the beginning for you to be afraid because, like, they just told you that you have this disease that might not be curable, you know. But it's good to speak out to other people because, you know, they might be going through the same thing that you're going through. So yeah, actually right now my ankle is swollen. My right ankle is swollen at the moment. So there you go. I'm going through one of these symptoms right now, joint pain. I mean, it doesn't really hurt, but it's very swollen right now actually. But yes, I see my doctor every 3 months. I have an appointment with him in June, so I just saw him recently, and I did take the test, so hopefully the next time that I see him the test has gone down from 81. Let's hope. Or maybe it went up, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and find out. One thing that I can say that I battle with a lot right now is the fact that I don't want to take my medications. Just because, like I mentioned before, I don't like pills, and I know that the pill is something that will help me control the lupus a little bit better, but it's just like I don't want to take them. Like, I just don't like taking pills, you know what I mean? It's just very annoying to have to take the pill every single day, twice or once, you know. It's just very annoying, but I'm going to try my best to start taking them again. And yes, I struggle with that with my mom a lot because she's always telling me to take the pills and I never want to take them, but I will. I'm saying this on camera, so mommy, if you are watching this video, I am saying it on camera. I will start taking the pills again. I say this a lot, but I promise this time I am gonna take them. I promise this time I'm gonna take them. So yes, that is the story time. I feel like it was quick, But yes, that is the story time of how I found out I had lupus, and how it is up to today. I'm going to try and do a vlog when I go see my doctor, and I'm gonna try to talk to him and see maybe he can like talk to you guys a little bit more about it, you know, just in case if you guys are going through any symptoms, like the ones that I said, like joint pain, fatigueness, rash, chest pains, etc. You should go see a doctor. But yes, that is the end of this story time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications bell so you can see every time that I post another video. And I'll see you guys next week.